Paranormal Activity on steroids? Really? Hey everybody, Andrew here. So I'm taking a break from my revision at the moment for my upcoming exams. Yay, fun stuff. To talk about a recent found footage film that's hit the stores across the UK that everyone's been talking about and praising for the past year or so now. And I can see why.
Mark. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Grave Encounters. Psychiatric hospitals like this were seen as sort of a dumping ground for embarrassing family members.
I'm going to be reviewing Grave Encounters, sharing my thoughts and opinions about the storyline, the characters, the genre, and anything that's important to mention when talking about this film. So the storyline follows a bunch of ghost hunters filming a new reality TV show called Grave Encounters, which leads them to an abandoned mental hospital in the search of the unknown. But it turns out they got more than they bargained for when things start to go very wrong. The Vicious Brothers have done something very clever and original with a very simple idea, taking the very cheesy shows like Most Haunted and simply expanding on it. And we can see how the directors have watched those shows and incorporated those very cheesy moments, the very cheesy characters and performers into the actual movie, with the characters of Grave Encounters setting up the location of the mental building, interviewing people, those very cheesy one-liners, and bribing people into saying, I saw something.
Cut for a second. Okay, how about you make something up for the camera? Pretend you saw something.
And the crew are trying to buzz suspense and try and add something to the actual so-called episode, which is actually funny to watch, in all fairness, because I've actually seen these before on most shows, most of these sort of haunted type shows, and you can see the director is literally mocking these moments and these cheesy lines, and the director is pointing out as and basically taking the piss. Plus, it's actually really fantastic character development, and to show who they are through the camera and off camera. There's some really great scenes where, like, on camera, the main character Lawrence Preston is like giving some really tense, really cheesy kind of speech kind of thing, and you say like cut, and you get to see him like off camera, and it's really fantastic. And there's bits where you say, okay, we're gonna add in sound effects there, we're gonna do some kind of black and white type scenes, we can shake the camera up a bit, we can do some funny angles, and they're basically doing a really obvious kind of Most Haunted type show, and it shows that within the scenes, and the setup is really fantastic. And of course, things kick into gear with some very creepy and quite scary scenes start to take place. And there's some bits where you're like, wow, I really was not expecting that. And it's quite surprising within a found footage movie, because usually you see all the best scenes within the trailer, and you kind of like, yeah, I know what's coming, or that's kind of obviously cliche type scares or jump scares like Paranormal Activity usually does, but you don't usually get that in this movie. Now, one of the things that I do like about this is the fact that there's foreshadowing throughout the entire movie. Everything connects, so if you see something at the start, they will reference it later on in a very smart and very clever way, which is like, oh, okay, that's clever. I like that. And there is a lot of scares which I generally was not expecting, which is fantastic. I mean, when you watch a horror movie, you want to be surprised, you want to be scared, and you want to say, wow, that's different, that's new. And I like the fact that the trailer shows very little of it. Of course, you get the screaming girl, which that kind of scared me a little bit. We can edit that out, right? My viewing of the film more surprising and better when there's more than just the trailer kind of thing. So that's a really fantastic job. Vicious Brothers have kind of stepped up the game of found footage movies and kind of did something quite original and fresh. And one of the things I do like about the movie also is the camera work throughout. Obviously, it's a shaky cam / found footage movie, and they've really worked it to its strengths. They haven't gone overboard, which is kind of like constantly shaky bullshit, which a lot of really cheap budget movies I've seen does, and it's not effective, it doesn't work. But this one, it's a bit more controlled, and it uses the really point of view type shots to its advantage, and it works really well, and it's impressive. Looking behind the scenes type thing, and a lot of it they did themselves. Some they allowed the actual actors to do and just kind of guide them in the way they wanted to, and really fantastic. I like the camera distortions as well in certain scenes. Now, one of the interesting things I looked about the extras is actually a cut. So if you've ever kind of do frame by frame, you can see they've put a kind of like a glitch type effect in each one, which is a very smart way of actually cutting it without kind of cutting it in the movie. So it pays out as one great big scene, but it's actually two scenes put together. Really fantastic editing work there. As an editor myself, I really like the style and how much time they put into it. Fantastic camera work, very interesting, very creative as well, and it works very well with the scares and all that stuff. And one of those things I have to mention is, of course, the sound. The sound is absolutely fantastic. They've really used the creepiness and the kind of screams and stuff to their advantages as well, also, and it's really fantastic. Especially with those bigger scenes, when you get those big jump scares, those big like really scary scenes, the kind of volume kind of rises really loud, and it's fantastic. You kind of get that full atmosphere with the if you've when you watch it on TV, or maybe if you've got your earphones in, make sure you have the volume as loud as you can kind of take it, because it really kicks in the emotions and kicks in your heart racing a little bit. And it's really fantastic, and it's very creative, imaginative, and I like the fact that they've used the sound to their advantage also with the camera work. So fantastic job also. The characters are funny, they're cheesy, they are interesting. My personal favourite is probably Lawrence Preston. He is I think really funny, and he's just one of those performers, you know, those classic kind of reality show performers that kind of like want to look good for the camera, one of those one-liners type thing. And it's quite funny to see him like kind of behind the scenes of the footage when he's do a take and he's behind the footage and he's trying to get that shot. He's always filming, and you can see he wants that fame, he wants that kind of attention, and it's really funny to see and watch. The rest of the cast also are absolutely fantastic. There wasn't a single character that I didn't like or I felt that was underused. I kind of recognise and remember each character. They had their own kind of personality, their own technique, how they did it. And it's interesting throughout the movie how they react to the scares and all that stuff. And it's really fantastic. It's great to see that within a horror film you actually care about the actual cast, and not just kind of like slasher movies where you just kind of kill off a couple of stupid teens which you just don't give a shit about. So Grave Encounters does a really great job in allowing you to connect with the characters and kind of saying, fuck, I actually missed that character. Oh shit, that character I didn't expect to get killed off. So, great job, Grave Encounters. Great job. Now, the genre of the film is that found footage type style horror, which the directors have used to its advantage, playing on its strengths, kind of pushing the boundaries and seeing what they could do with it. And for low budget horror, they used the time and the techniques extremely well. Of course, a good portion of the movie is set in one location, the mental hospital, and they've really used that entire place, that abandoned place, and just use every corridor, everything they could think of, and it's really fantastic to see that. And I think any found footage fan appreciate the work and the effort went into this movie, and it's one of the more better ones out there. So I think any horror fan will really enjoy this movie and the setup about it and the scares and the techniques about it. So I don't think it's just for found footage fans. I think it's for regular fans also. So I think it's got something for everybody in the sense of scares and taking the piss out of it, in a sense, found footage movies in a way. So I think the genre works for everyone, and I think the actual directors have done something very clever and very original with the genre, incorporating it with a fantastic solid script. I do have the Blu-ray of Grave Encounters. I paid £10 for this at play.com, which I think is a really great low price for a new release and a Blu-ray title also. Now, this edition in particular is a global exclusive, only available at play.com, not available anywhere else, which I'm very happy to have my own copy in my collection. You get to watch it in the best picture and sound quality, which I think is fantastic to see that within horror movies. Gets a bit more atmosphere, makes the scare scenes and the actual picture and the actual viewing of the film a lot better. Now, I've seen the DVD quality also, and which is still very, very good, and you get an excellent picture of that. I viewed it on HD TV, looks fantastic. But I think the Blu-ray does a better job with highlighting details in the movie. The sound quality is absolutely fantastic. You get to hear it in the full HD master surround sound kind of thing. Really fantastic. We're in a horror movie. Now, Grave Encounters has not long just been released on DVD and Blu-ray for the first time in the UK, with American and Australians already having a pre-DVD copy. This one has a different artwork on it, which I'm going to show you in more detail here. I don't know if you can see that. Show you more detail. Now, I quite like this artwork to the other one I've seen previously on the American DVD cover. I just think there's more going on here. You get the reviewers, Bloody Disgusting, 4 out of 4, and you get kind of the reviewers, and I like the fact that worldwide horror phenomenon, over 200 million trailer reviews, and you just get a lot. There's a lot more on the cover. The only thing I don't like about it is probably the little girl, which you can see in the middle there. Now, there is no little girl in this entire movie. I don't understand why they've put that in there, to be honest. It's a mental hospital. Why would a little girl be there? That's just a little bit of a mislead, but apart from that, it's a really fantastic cover. I like the fact it's one of the most scariest movies, most memorable movies of the entire year. That's one of the reviews is on there. I like this kind of found footage record type effects and the battery stuff. Really great artwork, and I like the tagline. They were searching for proof. They found it. I quite like the artwork. I think it's better than the other one, but that's just personal opinion. I'll show you the spine work there, Grave Encounters, and I'll show you the back artwork there, which shows the Scream Girl and, of course, the Paranormal on steroids, and, of course, there is extras within this movie. Now, the special features, you do get behind the scenes look into how the film was made for the directors and the actors' point of view, behind the scenes stuff, and it's a really good insider into the movie and exploring the script work and how they made it. Really fantastic. And you also get a standard trailer. I was expecting a little bit more extras, to be honest. I mean, considering this is a re-release for the first time in the UK, but nonetheless, it's still pretty good. And I mainly bought it for the movie. The extras are kind of an add-on. They didn't actually say it on the actual website. So yeah, I think the Blu-ray quality is absolutely fantastic. I would definitely recommend Grave Encounters if you're a fan of found footage movies or horror movies, then you're definitely going to enjoy it, I think. I definitely recommend a rental to see what you think of the movie. If you're a fan of horror, I think you're definitely going to enjoy this, definitely like the scares and appreciate the camera work. Found footage fans will definitely love this movie. I also recommend a purchase. Of course, I purchased mine on Blu-ray. Of course, you can get this DVD anywhere in local stores. If you're in the UK or America, you can definitely get it. The Blu-ray is, of course, only available at play.com. One of the good things about this Blu-ray, it is region free. That is right. If you're living in America or not somewhere in the UK, you can still purchase this on the official website. It only costs £10. You know, it's worth considering, definitely. So that's a good little thing if you're considering getting the Blu-ray purchase. It is region free. Absolutely for the movie. I really enjoyed it. I've watched this movie I think 3 times now. I think it's really effective horror. I like appreciate the movie and the star is. I think it is one of my favourite found footage movies I've ever seen, and it just does something a little bit more different. I'd like to point out this is not Paranormal Activity. If you don't like a slow burner and you're kind of sick and tired of jump scares and cheap where films where nothing actually happens, you don't see anything, then trust me, you see a lot within this movie, and it definitely was more than I was expecting when I first watched it. So keep that in mind when you thinking of watching the movie. Definitely a well done movie. Even after when you finish the movie, there's still a lot of mysteries and a lot of unanswered questions which you're kind of thinking to yourself how they found the found footage, and there's a lot of mysteries still to be answered, which I'd like to announce there is, of course, Paranormal Activity 2 currently in production, which I'm quite looking forward to if it's done right, of course. I think it's got a bigger budget this time, which could be like Wreck. If you've watched those movies, kind of Wreck 1 was good, Wreck 2 was even better. So I'm quite interested to see what they can do, what what kind of new twists can they do with it, and kind of answer those questions. One thing I will mention also, look out for the actual time bar underneath the actual when you're watching the movie. It kind of gives you some interesting ideas and some of theories into that. I've got my own, but that would be spoiling it, I think. So this has been the Grave Encounters review. I hope you enjoyed watching and getting a little bit insight into the actual movie, and I hope you do check it out. It is a really fantastic found footage movie. So, question: what are your thoughts and opinions about Grave Encounters? Have you seen the movie? What are you expecting of the sequel? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. I'd love to know and have a little bit of debate. So, in the meantime, this is Andrew from Medieval Film Game TV recommending you with some quality entertainment.